Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of our podcast. I'm your host, Liam. Today, we're exploring a drink that has traveled from ancient Japanese tea rooms to modern cafes around the world. A drink with a beautiful green color, a unique flavor, and a history that goes back hundreds of years. Of course, I'm talking about matcha. Today, you can find matcha almost everywhere. You can enjoy a matcha latte in a city cafe, try matcha desserts at a bakery, or see people sharing their favorite matcha drinks online. But behind this modern popularity is a much deeper story. Where did matcha come from? Why has it remained such an important part of Japanese culture? And what makes it so special to people even after hundreds of years? To help us discover this story, we have a very special guest today. Joining us is Yuko, who was born and raised in Japan and has studied traditional Japanese tea culture for many years. Since Yuko will be speaking Japanese, our interpreter Anna will help share her words with our international listeners. Welcome to the show, Yuko and Anna.
リアムさん、ありがとうございます。今日はこの番組で、世界中の皆さんに日本の抹茶についてお話しできることを本当に嬉しく思います。抹茶は、ただの飲み物ではありません。そこには、日本の歴史や文化、そして多くの人々の思いが込められています。
Thank you so much, Liam. Yuko says she is truly happy and honored to have this opportunity. She wants listeners around the world to know that matcha is not simply a drink. For many Japanese people, matcha represents history, culture, and the connection between people. It is not only about what is inside the cup, but also about the moment and feeling that come with it.
I love that idea, and I have to admit something. I drink matcha almost every morning. I enjoy the taste, I enjoy the color, and I like the feeling it gives me. But until preparing for this episode, I never really stopped to ask, where did this tradition actually come from? So today, I think I'll be learning together with our listeners.
それはとても素敵なことですね。実は、世界中で抹茶を楽しんでいる方の中には、その長い歴史を知らない方もたくさんいます。でも、背景を知ることで、一杯の抹茶がもっと特別なものになると思います。
Yuko says that many people around the world enjoy matcha without knowing its history, but when we understand the story behind it, even a simple cup of matcha can become something much more meaningful.
Let's start from the beginning. When people think about matcha today, they often think of Japan, but where did the story of tea itself begin?
お茶の歴史は日本だけではありません。もともとお茶は中国から伝わりました。そして鎌倉時代に僧侶の栄西が中国から茶の種とお茶を飲む文化を日本へ持ち帰りました。そこから日本独自のお茶文化が少しずつ発展していきました。
Yuko explains that the story of tea began outside Japan. Tea originally came from China, and during the Kamakura period, a Buddhist monk named Eisai brought tea seeds and the culture of drinking tea back to Japan. This became one of the important beginnings of Japanese tea culture, but Japan did not simply copy this tradition. Over time, it developed its own unique way of growing, preparing, and appreciating tea.
That's fascinating. So matcha is not just a Japanese version of tea. It's something that Japan transformed and developed over centuries.
Exactly. What makes Japanese tea culture unique is not only the tea itself, but also the philosophy surrounding it. The preparation, the atmosphere, and the respect shown between people all became part of the experience.
So how did tea eventually become the powdered matcha that we know today?
その後、日本では茶葉の育て方や作り方が独自に発展しました。特に、京都の宇治では高品質なお茶が作られるようになりました。特別に育てた茶葉を細かくひいて飲む文化が発展し、現在の抹茶につながっていきました。
Yuko explains that Japan developed its own methods of cultivating and preparing tea. One especially famous region is Uji in Kyoto, which became known for producing high-quality tea. Through careful farming and preparation methods, the tradition of grinding specially grown tea leaves into a fine powder developed into the matcha we know today.
When many people outside Japan hear the word matcha, they often imagine modern things, a green latte, a dessert, a trendy cafe drink. But listening to you, Yuko, it sounds like matcha represents something much deeper.
はい、本当にそうです。抹茶は飲み物だけではありません。人と人をつなぐ時間でもあります。茶道では、一杯のお茶を通して、相手への感謝や思いやりを表します。
Yuko says matcha is much more than a beverage. In the Japanese tea ceremony, preparing and sharing tea is a way of expressing respect, gratitude, and care for others. The focus is not only on drinking tea. It is about creating a meaningful moment between people.
That idea is beautiful. I think in many modern societies, we are always moving quickly. We drink coffee while working, eat while checking our phones, and sometimes forget to slow down. Maybe that is one reason traditional things like matcha still feel meaningful today.
はい、そう思います。抹茶をいただく時間は少し立ち止まって自分自身と向き合う時間でもあります。私は子供の頃、祖母と一緒にお茶を楽しんだ思い出があります。茶筅の音、抹茶の香り、静かな時間。その思い出は今でも私の大切な宝物です。
Yuko shares a personal memory from her childhood. She remembers enjoying tea with her grandmother. The quiet sound of the bamboo whisk, the gentle aroma of matcha, and the peaceful atmosphere are memories she still treasures today. For her, matcha represents not only tradition, but also family and connection.
I think that is something many people around the world can understand. Even if we come from different countries, we all have those small moments that stay with us. A meal shared with family, a conversation with someone important, a quiet moment that makes us feel at peace.
Exactly. And that may be one reason matcha continues to connect with people from different cultures. The tradition began in Japan, but the emotions behind it, gratitude, connection, and taking time to appreciate the present moment, are universal.
After hearing your story, I think I'll never look at matcha in exactly the same way again. At the beginning of this episode, I saw matcha as a drink. Now, I see it as a piece of history, a tradition passed from generation to generation.
ありがとうございます。もし世界中の皆さんが抹茶を楽しむとき、日本の文化や歴史を少しでも感じていただけたら、本当に幸せです。抹茶は日本から世界への贈り物だと思っています。
Yuko says she would be truly happy if people around the world could feel even a small part of Japanese culture and history when enjoying matcha. She believes matcha is a gift from Japan to the world.
What a beautiful message. In the next part of our conversation, we'll explore the taste of matcha, the different types available, and why the centuries-old tradition has become loved around the world. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. In the first part of our episode, Yuko shared the incredible history behind matcha and explained why it means so much to Japanese culture. Now, let's talk about something every person experiences when they try matcha for the first time, the taste. I still remember my first matcha. I expected it to taste like a stronger version of green tea, but it surprised me. It was smooth, slightly bitter, naturally sweet, and somehow very calming. It wasn't a flavor I immediately understood. But after a few cups, I started to appreciate it. Yuko, what makes matcha taste so unique?
抹茶の味は本当に特別です。自然な甘み、優しい苦み、そして深い旨味があります。初めて飲む方は少し驚くこともあります。でも何度か飲むうちにその奥深い味わいの魅力を感じる人が多いです。抹茶は時間をかけて好きになることができる飲み物だと思います。
Yuko says matcha has a very special combination of flavors. It has natural sweetness, gentle bitterness, and a deep umami taste. For listeners who may not be familiar with the word umami, it describes a rich and satisfying taste that can also be found in foods like mushrooms, seaweed, and Japanese soup stock. Some people are surprised when they first try matcha because it is different from ordinary tea, but over time, many people discover a deeper appreciation for its flavor.
I think that's exactly what happened to me. At first, I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but now, my morning feels a little different when I have matcha. It's interesting how a flavor can become connected to a daily habit. I have another question that many people around the world probably have. When we go to a cafe and order a matcha latte, we usually don't think about what kind of matcha is being used. Are all matchas the same?
いいえ、すべての抹茶が同じではありません。産地や育て方、作り方によって香りや味わいは大きく変わります。例えば、京都の宇治は高品質な抹茶の産地として世界的に知られています。
Yuko explains that matcha is not a single, identical product. Just like coffee beans can have different flavors depending on where they are grown, matcha can also have different characteristics. The region, farming methods, and preparation process all influence its taste. One of Japan's most famous matcha-producing areas is Uji in Kyoto, which has a long history of tea production.
That's really interesting. So when people say they don't like matcha, maybe they have only tried one type.
Exactly. Yuko explains that discovering matcha can be a little like discovering coffee or wine. Different varieties offer different experiences. Some are lighter and more delicate, others have a stronger flavor that works well in drinks and desserts.
That brings me to another question. Many people know terms like ceremonial matcha and culinary matcha. What is the simple difference between them?
茶道などでそのまま味わうための抹茶は香りや甘み、うま味を楽しむことを大切にしています。一方で料理やラテなどに使う抹茶はミルクや他の材料と合わせても風味が残るように作られています。どちらにもそれぞれの良さがあります。
Yuko explains that some matcha is created to be enjoyed by itself. This type allows people to experience the natural aroma, sweetness, and umami of the tea. Other matcha is designed for modern creations like lattes, cakes, smoothies, and desserts. It has a stronger character that can remain noticeable even when mixed with other ingredients. Neither one is better. They simply offer different ways to enjoy matcha.
That explains something fascinating about matcha. It can be part of a traditional tea ceremony in Japan, but it can also be enjoyed as a modern drink in cities around the world. A few hundred years ago, people enjoyed matcha in quiet tea rooms. Today, people enjoy it in cafes in places far away from Japan. Why do you think matcha has become so popular globally?
理由はいくつかあると思います。もちろん、味の美味しさがあります。でも、それだけではありません。美しい緑色、自然な雰囲気、そして心を落ち着かせる時間。そういった魅力が現代の人々にも合っているのだと思います。
Yuko believes matcha's popularity comes from more than just its taste. Its beautiful green color makes it visually special. Its natural flavor attracts people who are looking for new experiences, and perhaps most importantly, matcha offers a moment of calm in a busy modern world.
I really like that idea, because today, many people are searching for ways to slow down. We are always connected, always busy, always moving. Maybe a simple cup of matcha gives people a small reason to pause.
Yes. Yuko says this is one reason she feels happy seeing matcha appreciated around the world. For many people, matcha becomes their first connection with Japanese culture. It may start with a drink, but it can lead to curiosity about Japanese history, food, art, and traditions.
世界中の方が抹茶を通して日本の文化に興味を持ってくださることが本当に嬉しいです。日本の伝統が国を越えて大切にされていることをとても誇りに思います。
Yuko says she feels truly grateful when people around the world become interested in Japanese culture through matcha. She feels proud to see a tradition from Japan being appreciated across different countries and generations.
I think that's what makes matcha different from many modern trends. Some things become popular because they look interesting. But matcha has something deeper. It has history, it has meaning. And it gives people a chance to connect with another culture.
抹茶には何百年もの歴史と多くの人々の思いが込められています。一杯の抹茶を楽しむとき、その背景にある物語も感じていただけたら嬉しいです。
Yuko says that every cup of matcha carries centuries of history and the feelings of many generations. She hopes people will enjoy not only the flavor of matcha, but also the story and tradition behind it.
What a wonderful message. In our final part, we'll explore another reason why matcha has become such a popular choice around the world. We'll talk about matcha and health, compare it with coffee, and share some simple advice for enjoying matcha in everyday life. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone.
Throughout this episode, we've discovered that matcha is much more than a simple drink. It carries history, tradition, and the memories of many generations. But there is another reason why matcha has become so popular around the world today. Many people enjoy matcha as part of a healthier lifestyle, so in this final part, we'll talk about matcha and health, how it compares with coffee, and how we can enjoy it in our daily lives. Yuko, what makes matcha interesting from a health perspective?
抹茶の大きな特徴は、茶葉そのものを飲むことです。普通のお茶は、茶葉をお湯に入れて成分を抽出しますが、抹茶は、茶葉を細かくしたものをそのままいただきます。そのため、茶葉に含まれる様々な成分を楽しむことができます。昔から日本では、お茶は体と心を整えるものとして大切にされてきました。
Yuko explains that one unique feature of matcha is that people consume the entire tea leaf. With regular tea, we drink the water that extracts flavor and compounds from the leaves. With matcha, the powdered leaf itself is consumed. Because of this, people can enjoy more of the natural compounds found in tea leaves. For centuries in Japan, tea has been valued not only as a drink, but also as a way to create balance and a peaceful moment.
That's really interesting. So matcha is not only about what we consume, but also about the experience of drinking it. I think that connects with something we talked about earlier, taking a moment to slow down.
Exactly. Yuko believes that one of matcha's greatest qualities is the combination of the drink and the moment, preparing matcha, holding the cup, noticing the aroma, and taking a quiet break can become a small daily ritual for many people. That feeling of mindfulness is just as important as the tea itself.
Now, let's talk about a comparison many listeners are probably curious about. Coffee. Coffee is one of the most popular drinks in the world, and many people start their day with a cup. Matcha is becoming part of that morning routine for more and more people too, so how are they different?
コーヒーも抹茶も集中したい時や元気を出したい時に楽しまれる飲み物です。どちらにもカフェインがあります。ただ、抹茶には L-テアニンという成分も含まれていて、カフェインと一緒に楽しむことで違った感覚を感じる人もいます。大切なのは自分の生活や体に合った飲み方を見つけることです。
Yuko says both coffee and matcha can be enjoyed when people want energy or focus. Both contain caffeine, but matcha also contains L-theanine, a natural compound found in tea. Because of this combination, some people describe matcha as providing a smoother and calmer feeling compared with coffee. However, everyone's body responds differently, so there is no single best choice. The best drink is the one that fits your own lifestyle.
I like that comparison. Maybe it's not about choosing one drink as better than the other. Coffee and matcha simply create different experiences. Coffee can feel like a quick start to the day. Matcha can feel like a slower, more mindful beginning.
That's a great way to describe it. Many coffee lovers continue to enjoy coffee, and many matcha lovers enjoy matcha. They are not necessarily competitors. They are two different traditions that have become part of people's daily routines around the world.
For someone listening today who wants to try matcha for the first time, what advice would you give?
まずは自分に合った楽しみ方を見つけることが大切です。初めての方は少量から始めてもいいと思います。そのまま飲む方法もありますし、ラテやお菓子として楽しむ方法もあります。大切なのは、無理をせず、自分のペースで抹茶を楽しむことです。
Yuko recommends starting slowly and finding the style that feels right for you. Some people enjoy traditional matcha prepared simply with water. Others prefer a matcha latte, dessert, or smoothie. There is no single correct way to enjoy matcha. What matters is discovering a relationship with matcha that feels meaningful and enjoyable.
I think that's a wonderful message, because sometimes when we discover something from another culture, we feel like we have to experience it in exactly the traditional way. But maybe traditions continue because they can grow and adapt.
Exactly. Yuko believes that traditions stay alive when people continue to connect with them. Matcha has survived for hundreds of years because it has both a strong foundation and the ability to become part of new cultures and new lifestyles.
Yuko, before we finish today's episode, I want to ask you one final question. After sharing the history, taste, and meaning of matcha with listeners around the world, what do you hope people remember when they enjoy their next cup of matcha?
抹茶を飲むとき、 ただ味を楽しむだけではなく、その背景にある歴史や文化も少し思い出していただけたら嬉しいです。一杯の抹茶には、長い時間と多くの人々の思いが込められています。世界中の皆さんが抹茶を通して、日本の文化を少しでも感じてくださったら、それ以上嬉しいことはありません。
Yuko says that when people enjoy matcha, she hopes they remember not only the flavor, but also the history and culture behind it. Every cup carries time, dedication, and the feelings of many people across generations. She would be truly happy if matcha could become a small connection between Japan and people around the world.
Yuko, thank you so much for joining us today, and Anna, thank you for helping us share this beautiful story. Before this conversation, I thought matcha was simply a drink I enjoyed in the morning, but now, I see it differently. Matcha is a story about history, connection, and finding a moment of peace in our busy lives.
And thank you to everyone listening from around the world. We hope today's episode has inspired you to discover not only matcha, but also the culture and traditions behind it.
Whether you enjoy matcha in a traditional tea room in Japan, a local cafe, or your own kitchen at home, we hope every cup brings you a moment of connection and appreciation. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of matcha. Until next time, take care, and goodbye.